Get in on the action this season with Underdog's Pick'em game. Select higher or lower between 2 and 8 players and compete for up to 325 times your entry. Use code DIRECTOR when signing up to receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick. Kia ora, Bolt fam, it's the Director. It's another Monday, which means another mock draft. Bolt fam, how we doing, man? We're just a few weeks away from the NFL draft. We've done, what is this now? Mock draft 5.0. We've done 4 mock drafts so far. We've covered a whole lot of scenarios of what the Chargers could be thinking in the first round, second round, some gems, etc., etc. One of the few things that we haven't done so far, which, let's be honest, it's a reason why we don't do this, because it's a huge pain in the butt, and the variables are all over the place when you do something like this, but we're going to do it anyway. We haven't done a mock draft with trades yet, and I think this could be kind of fun. I'm going to be trying to be a little, I don't know, thinking it through, right? I'm trying to be a little intelligent with how I go about the trading process here. Give us some variety, but at the same time, if I were to put myself in the Chargers' shoes and Joe Hortiz's shoes, and I were to make a trade in this year's draft, how would I go about it? Which players are worth trading up for? Am I going to try and grab value in a trade down, etc., etc.? So today we're going to do mock draft 5.0. You guys know how it works on this channel. 3 mock drafts, 5 rounds deep in these mock drafts, and the 2 rules we have to abide by: 1, you cannot draft the same player, and 2, every mock draft must have at least 1 trade in it. It should be a really good time. Before we do kick things off, shout out to the sponsor, Underdog. Use code DIRECTOR to receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Newcomers, baseball season! Get your season free pick, or get your free pick for this game. For all newcomers, it's a great way to support my platform and have some fun along the way. Before we do kick off, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. The small amount of time you guys take to like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into it. Lights, camera, action!
Who's got it better than us?
Into the end zone, Charger fans are witnesses to history.
Your Chargers mock draft 5.0. 5? Yeah, 5 mock drafts. We only have a couple of more of these episodes left before the actual drafts. Keep in mind, I like to be live for the entire experience. You guys want a cool place to come hang out with a bunch of Chargers fans? I will be live for every single Chargers pick. It should be a really good time. Let's kick off this round 1. So as you guys know, if it's the first time you've been to a Director mock draft episode, we do 3 mock drafts. Mock draft A, B, and C. All of them are different. You guys follow along. Let me know which one of these mock drafts is your favorite. And yes, they're all going to be varying and which players are selected, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and start here with mock draft A, which, again, one of the 2 rules, you can't draft the same player, and there must be a trade in every single mock draft. We're actually going to start with the trade here. The Chargers are going to negotiate with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to acquire pick 119 and pick 121 in round 4, mind you. The Bucs will receive our first round pick and 3rd round pick in this exchange, and this is because a player was falling down the board. Now, there's a couple of players I would say are worth trading into this range for. After all, the next pick after the Bucs is going to be the Denver Broncos. It's a great place to try and snipe a player from your division rival while also trying to go after a player that's high on your board that might be slipping. There's one player in particular that I see slipping in very many different mock drafts that I say to myself, guys, you got to think that the Denver Broncos would go after him. Is this someone that we're willing to trade up to go get? Someone that, would bring the value we're looking for, bring the need that we're looking for, bring the talent that we're looking for? I would say absolutely yes. The Chargers will trade up in round 1 to get Ted McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. Oh, yeah. This is one where, honestly, I can't see it happening because I'm such a big believer in Ted McMillan, the player. I saw this guy play in person. I caught a Cougs game versus Arizona, and I got to watch this guy tear up the field live. And I knew, man, of course, he didn't have the best game versus BYU. They have a great, secondary this last season. But, man, he made some huge plays despite that. We all know he's the best wide receiver in this class, yet some people are saying, hey man, let's soften up on this wide receiver class. Ted McMillan being the wide receiver one in a lot of people's eyes, maybe not a top 10 pick, etc., etc. I'm seeing him fall in a lot of different mock drafts out of the teens into the low 20s. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does happen, and let's say Ted McMillan is available around pick 19, I don't want a chance in hell the Broncos pick him up at such a big value. I would rather trade up, grab this guy. Yes, you're parting ways with a third-round pick, which is basically what's happening is that the Bucs are taking their third-round pick or fourth-round pick and turning it into a third-round pick. So we're downgrading our third-rounder into a fourth-rounder. But in my mind, that is absolutely worth it. If a player like Ted McMillan is available and you have the draft capital, because we have a whole ton of picks in this year's draft, if you've got the draft capital to make it happen, I say let's go after best player available. If he really is, let's say, in the top 10 of the Chargers, big board, and he's falling into the late teens, let's go after him. There's other trade partners that might make sense for the Bolts here, like the Seattle Seahawks, maybe the Arizona Cardinals if you're trying to get closer to the mid-teens. You're worried about another team scooping him up. It would cost a little bit more, but at the same time, man, Ted McMillan, he's just the dude for me. Like, you imagine him in this offense with Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, and all these guys. Ladd McConkey, a great compliment to Ladd McConkey. It'd be absolutely insane. If you guys are not familiar with Ted McMillan's game, 6'5", 212 pounds, huge catch radius. He's an awesome route runner. He's got awesome hands. He looks like the next big thing at wide receiver in the NFL. And if we have any chance in hell of getting him, I think we're going to have to trade up. I think this is being gracious. Of course, I've seen him in a couple of mock drafts fall, hence how we got him in this one. And I think it would be worth it. Yeah, you're downgrading your third into another fourth, but you get Ted McMillan in the first round, someone I wouldn't even dream of getting in 99% of mock draft scenarios. So we're going to dream a little bit on this one and say, hey, Ted McMillan, welcome to the Chargers. You get a big wide receiver one going forward to complement and work with Ladd McConkey. That would be ridiculous. Let's move into round 2. Luckily, the Chargers didn't have to part ways with this pick in order to make the trade happen. We're going to go with JT Tuimoloau. And this is going to be a guy that I've talked about a little bit in the past few mock drafts, and a guy that's slowly growing on me as a big value in the second round. I feel strongly that he's going to be a very effective piece wherever he gets drafted, especially if he goes to a position or a team like the Chargers we're putting him in. Man, this is a strong edge, powerful first step, excellent leverage, with consistent, clean hand placement. Very, very nice, consistent-looking edge. And this dude, his power feels like it would be an excellent complement to Tuli Tuipulotu in the future. Yeah, because we're kind of, planning for the future here on this pick a little bit. We do have Khalil Mack this season with Bud Dupree, but that's not going to be the case in 2026. It's going to take a while for the Chargers to really get that position nice and cushy post Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. They might be able to speed that up with the drafting of JT Tuimoloau in the second round. Imagine Tuipulotu and Tuimoloau both on the edges going forward for the Chargers, man. It'd be pretty sick. So that's going to be a round 2 pick 55. Now, of course, in round 3, the Chargers do not have a selection here as they did trade it away to go acquire Ted McMillan, but they did acquire an extra 4th round pick. The first one being here, let's see. Yeah, okay. We might actually have these mixed up right here. There we go. Pick 121. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Pick 121. We're going to go with Gunnar Helm, tight end out of Texas. This is with the extra pick we got from Tampa Bay in that trade. And it's a tight end that I'm slowly really growing on, man. Like, I feel very confident that Gunnar Helm is going to be one of those dudes that you see at the next level as a nice, consistent tight end that kind of does a little of everything. It's a good blocker. I'm going to say good. He's a good blocker. He's a good receiver. He's a really good after the catch weapon. My goodness, you get this guy in even a little bit of space. Watch him go. It's a great weapon to pair up with Justin Herbert. And again, another position, another weapon to help free up Ladd McConkey a little bit. The Chargers sorely need this tight end, position squared away. It's a position that Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman have really leaned on in seasons past. I think it's time to go get one that you feel very, very confident is your dude of the future. I like the Tyler Conklin signing a lot. But you're going to want a guy that can grow with him over the next couple years and then pass the torch down in 2026 or 2027. So Gunnar Helm, to me, solid pick there in round 4 with the extra 4th round pick in that trade. In round 4, once again, at pick 125, so just a few short picks later, I got the Chargers selecting Noel Williams, cornerback out of Cal. Big, strong outside corner. He's produced 15 interceptions over his career, which I think stems 5 seasons. Excellent run defender. Like, this dude, big, physical, mean, tough. Maybe, a little less consistent in zone, but really good in man. Could get a little grabby at times, but this is a really, really good value, I would say, in the 4th round, where you can get a guy in the Jesse Minter range of, hey, man, he's got all the characteristics you're looking for. He's big, he's strong, he's decently fast, he's tough, he's physical, he's good versus the run. All of these, kind of add up to Jesse Minter may turn him into one of the best corners of the 2025 class. It all is kind of there. So Noel Williams, cornerback out of Cal, pick 125. And, sometimes corner, you can find some decent value in and around, I'm going to say, rounds 3 to 5. And I really like the Noel Williams value here at pick 125. Lastly, round 5, this is, again, draft A to wrap this up. Kyle Monangai, running back out of Rutgers. This is a guy I've seen a lot of Chargers fans saying, hey, director, where's the love for Monangai? And I'm going to tell you right now, dudes, I've been waiting for the opportunity. We haven't gone too deep in these mock drafts quite yet. I think we just got into, rounds 4 and 5 over the last week or two. And Kyle Monangai, I knew was going to be a guy at some point I was going to be mock drafting. This dude feels like a Charger. He's mean. He's violent. This dude, I love the description they put for him on PFF. They said something to the effect of, this guy runs like someone personally insulted his family and friends. Like, he's just angry. He's mean, man. And it really does show up. He reminds me of the Wolverine, from X-Men. Like, he's small, but don't piss this guy off, man. Like, he's going to run you over. And that's certainly his style of football. You can kind of think of him as a budget, I don't know, maybe Gatabo a little bit in some senses, but this is a guy that certainly will be loved by Chargers fans and, the Chargers coaching with what he brings in aspect of the running back position, constantly running over defenders. He's an excellent pass blocker too, man. You guys want someone that can be a 3rd down back, someone that can come in and protect for Justin Herbert as well. He does it as well as anybody in this draft. So Kyle Monangai, running back out of Rutgers, I'm going to say a great value here in the 5th round, and one that, maybe it's not taking advantage of this running back class to the full effect as I was hoping, but Monangai in any other season, man, he's a 3rd round pick. That's how deep this running back class is. Maybe 4th round pick, but I feel confident people would very much so find a lot of value in especially his pass blocking, man. Very physical, but that pass blocking is exceptional for a 5th rounder especially. That's going to be mock draft A. Let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Remember, the trade was a trade up for Tet McMillan. We followed it up in round 2 with J.T. Tuimoloau, Gunnar Helm, Noel Williams, and Kyle Monangai. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad-looking draft. Let's move into draft B now. Draft B, and again, we have to trade at some point. Is it going to be in round 1? Not this time. I got the Chargers sticking and picking in round 1. I find it very difficult to believe that if Kenneth Grant is available at pick 22, that the Chargers in any which way, shape, or form would pass on him. This has to be the Chargers pick if he's available at 22. Again, the likeliness of that, I think, is a little lower, but it's possible. And this is a guy that the Chargers would absolutely get the most value out of year 1. Him and Colston Loveland. And a lot of these Michigan players that they recruited, they developed. They know these guys to their core. Kenneth Grant would be such an awesome addition to this Chargers defensive line to really start building something nasty from that interior, which both sides of the ball need a little bit of help in terms of interior, trench play. Kenneth Grant is mean. He's versatile. He's violent. He's physical. He's agile for his size, especially. He can play anywhere. He's getting to the quarterback. He's getting to the running back. He's a nasty football player. And again, if he is somehow available at pick 22, I would feel very shocked if the Chargers passed on him for pretty much any other prospect that's projected to be available in and around that range. So I think the Chargers stick and pick. They grab Kenneth Grant, and they feel very confident that their defense has a nasty, difference maker in the middle of that line all of a sudden. Now in round 2, this is where things get saucy. The Chargers are indeed going to execute a trade here. I've got the Bolts eyeballing a player they feel is worth trading up for. They've seen him start to slide. They don't want to lose out on an opportunity to get another guy that could be a difference maker to this offense. Very similar to what the Ladd McConkey trade up looked like last season. The Bolts are going to see yet another weapon sliding and worth the pickup. They're going to go ahead and execute a trade with the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to trade up to pick 50, sending away picks 55 and 125, aka a 4th rounder, in order to grab this sliding wide receiver in Jaden Higgins, wide receiver out of Iowa State. Listen, the picks are a little slim in this year's draft when it comes to a true X receiver. Jaden Higgins is as good as anyone in this draft outside of maybe a Tet McMillan. And it just feels like if there's a guy worth pursuing, if there's a guy worth finding, the space for in terms of trade ups, et cetera, in the 2nd round, Jaden Higgins kind of feels like that dude for me. And who knows if he's even available by pick 50. He's been available in a lot of mock drafts I've done, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's picked up early in the 2nd round, maybe even late in the 1st round. That kind of skill set, his frame, he's 6'4", 6'5", decent speed, great, route running, great hands, insanely great hands, really good on the perimeter, would add a new wrinkle to the offense that, would complement Ladd McConkey so well. Wide receiver, a big position they got to get right, one that may be flying under the radar a little bit. Jaden Higgins would be a fantastic trade up, candidate for the Bolts in the 2nd round if he begins to slide. There's a couple of wide receivers that could slide into the 2nd round, man. I wouldn't be shocked, with the amount of talent that this draft has at other positions like defensive line and tight end even at some points. If a wide receiver or two slips into the 2nd round, the Chargers could take advantage of. But I'm hoping and praying it could be a guy like Jaden Higgins, and sometimes a trade up, to make sure they don't go to, like I said, the Broncos before. I think the Steelers may be in the market for it, maybe even the Seattle Seahawks themselves, as they're trying to rebuild. They got JSN and other guys, though. I would be very happy and satisfied with a trade up for Jaden Higgins. He would solve so many problems on the perimeter, and he's just such a great talent to add to that Chargers offense that, man, it would really help round things out. Okay, so the Chargers, again, we parted ways with our 4th round pick in order to make this happen, but in my opinion, very, very worth it. In round 3, the Chargers will be selecting finally their tight end. They're going to need a tight end. Again, there's a few positions they just got to get right. Tight end is certainly one of them. I'm going to take Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green. And it's a guy that I'm not, again, a lot of these guys, I'm going to say the same thing, man. Like, we're kind of going for value here. You have to imagine the Chargers are thinking the same thing. Best player available. Really, showed their cards in that strategy over the free agent period where they've really covered their bases on all positions. Now they can just kind of find the value and take who they feel is bringing them the best return. Harold Fannin, to me, obviously is one of those guys that if you believe in him, you got to take him. And he could go higher. He could go, higher in the 3rd round, some say even, in the late 2nd round. Fannin, to me, again, you're rolling the dice a little bit because his physical attributes don't really scream tight end. He's not particularly fast. He's not particularly big. He's not particularly strong. But holy crap, does this guy produce? He put up, the 2nd most yards by the tight end? I remember. It's just a crap ton of yards at the tight end position. 1,555, if I do recall. Put up tons of touchdowns. Excellent weapon for whatever quarterback decides to throw him. I'm feeling the Justin Herbert connection would be lethal. It feels like a match made in heaven. You need a weapon that's a difference maker. My goodness, imagine getting away in the 2nd and 3rd round with Jaden Higgins and Harold Fannin. I would be feeling very, very satisfied with that. So in round 3, pick 86, Harold Fannin, the wonderkin at tight end, man. I think he's got a very bright future in the NFL, and I could really see him working out with the Chargers. and Justin Herbert. Lastly, to wrap up draft B, I got the Chargers in round 5 selecting Ollie Gordon III, running back out of Oklahoma State. I did get to see this guy play a few times. I didn't go to the game, but I watched a couple of the games by Oklahoma State, including theirs by BYU, and I think he had a pretty decent game that game too. There's no getting around it. No one would have guessed Ollie Gordon would be available in the 5th round in any reality if you were to ask him in 2023. He had one of the most insane campaigns that season. Everybody was projecting him to be like a 1st-round pick in 2024, and he fell off hard. Like, the fall off was real. His violence, his agility, his production, everything dipped dramatically in 2024, and that's very concerning. You've seen players, have that 1 year and then just, disappear forever. But for me, it's hard to ignore that 2023 campaign. 2,000 total yards, 21 touchdowns. He looked like the next big thing at running back. But what happened? We don't know. And I think when you're looking at this running back class and you're thinking, okay, what in the 5th round, where can I maybe find the most value? There's a couple of guys that I really like here. There's Raheem Sanders as well, is kind of in the same realm here for me as well, and he's one that I would certainly take a shot on too. But the Chargers specifically, as of late, have been known for rekindling players' careers. Have you guys noticed that? Older players, especially on defense, they come play for the Bolts, and they have the best season they've had in a long time. Poona Ford, Christian Fulton, some guys on offense, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. It feels like this. If there's any program that can turn it around, it is the Chargers. Imagine if we got 80% of what he showed in 2023, 75%, whatever. I feel like it would be a tremendous value. And for those reasons, I'm willing to take a shot on Ollie Gordon III. Especially in the 5th round. My goodness. The idea of getting anywhere close to what he was in 2023 is certainly worth rolling the dice in the late rounds, in my opinion. So Ollie Gordon, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. I think some people are going to be very about that idea. Some people might be pushing back against it a little bit, but I think it's exciting, especially at that range. And who knows, maybe you draft 2 running backs in that range and kind of see which one develops, because it's a heck of a group and you want to take advantage of it. You certainly do. So to wrap up draft B, go back here real quick. Chargers grabbed Kenneth Grant. They traded up with Seattle to get Jaden Higgins. They got Harold Fandon Jr. and Ollie Gordon to wrap up that draft. Let's go ahead and begin our last draft of the episode. Mock Draft C. Where is the director going to be trading in this one? Well, honestly, let's trade right away in the 1st round once again. But this time, we are going to trade down. I looked at a couple of the offers via PFF. I kind of decided which one made the most sense for us, and this one really did catch my eye a little bit. The Chargers will be trading down with the Detroit Lions to pick 28 in the 1st round, and they're going to receive their 2nd round pick. Basically, what we're doing is upgrading our 3rd round pick to a 2nd round pick with this trade. It's quite hefty. And honestly, again, you're going to have the 1st round pick, 2 2nd round picks, no 3rd round pick, and then a 4th round, 5th round in this mock draft. It got me excited to think, okay, maybe we can get some guys in the 2nd round that I normally don't go for, because we just, you can only pick 1 in the 2nd round. But while also following the idea that the Chargers are so obviously laying out of best player available, there still should be some nice, players available late 1st round. It all kind of depends and comes down to who is number 1 on your board at that time. I kind of really struggled between the player I selected and like Derek Harmon. Pierce was available in some of them as well, but it all really kind of came down to one player that I think, honestly, if you're looking at best player available, what the Chargers want to become, what their identity is, if this player is still available like he is in a lot of mock drafts, even at 28, I'm taking Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. Some people may say, director, you're crazy. We have Najee Harris. It's a great running back class. You can grab a starter in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't care. If we're going best player available and you traded down and you grabbed value and Omarion Hampton is still there at 28, I am taking the best player on the board, which in my opinion, Omarion Hampton is going to be one of the biggest, names in football in the next 2 or 3 years. Like, this player is as complete of a running back as I have ever seen. Great in, passing downs, in terms of passing protection or blocking, receiving. He's a really big, tough physical back too that can pretty much run anywhere, outside zone, inside, whatever. He's going to provide all the tools that you need to become a true running football team in the future. He's going to give you an excellent 1-2 punch at the running back position this year with Najee Harris. It's going to be a passing of the torch situation in 2026, where, Najee being the early down back, maybe not as necessary with Omarion Hampton having a full year under his belt in the NFL. Now he can be the workhorse going forward. It's so hard for me to ever think about passing up Omarion Hampton in the late first round if he's still available, because he's absolutely the best player on the board, and he would help shape the future of the Chargers offense via the running back position for very many years. So Omarion Hampton, round 1 pick 28, and we picked up an extra second round pick with that as well. Speaking of which, let's get to that first second round pick. We're going to spoil it again, aren't we? All right, well, let's go Benjamin Morris. Benjamin Morris, round 2, pick 55. Again, a guy that, I don't see too often at round 55. He was available in this one. But also a guy that I have to double take a little bit. I'm like, corner, he's a very good player. And, corner is a position that we could use an upgrade in. But I'm looking, if we, didn't pick up, Colston Loveland in the first round, I'm looking for a tight end. I'm looking for a value at some of these running backs. My goodness, you can get, some excellent running back prospects available in the second round. But if we have 2 second round picks and we have a guy like Benjamin Morris on the board, it really does help me feel comfortable at, hey man, let's go ahead and grab, the huge value, and the excellent player at the position. This is the next Paulson Adebo. Like, this guy is as consistent as you could look for. He's as physical as you could look for. He's great in terms of coverage. There's all around a solid football player that normally I maybe not available to me, but more so I'm kind of looking at other positions in the second round. Now we can go after this big talent player in round 2. And I feel very confident that he would be Chargers cornerback 1 within the next year or 2, if not his rookie season. Like, he's an awesome talent that I'm sure Jesse Minter would love to have on the defense going forward. Benjamin Morris, cornerback out of Notre Dame in round 2. Now, of course, the Chargers, with trading down, will have a second pick in the second round. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Mason Taylor here. I kind of, went back and forth. I was like, you got Elijah Arroyo still here. You got Harold Green is also very, very exciting to think about his upside. But ultimately, Mason Taylor, a couple of guys that are really big my guys at the tight end position. Obviously, Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren are in a league of their own. But, outside of that, Mason Taylor is at the top with Gunnar, or I should say with Harold Fannin and Gunnar Helm. Like, those 3 guys, I would be ecstatic to get any one of them, but Mason Taylor is absolutely at the top for me in terms of what he could bring to the Chargers in the future. Like, you've got Conklin right now, and honestly, they play kind of similar. They could be an awesome pairing together, but Mason Taylor obviously has a huge upside in terms of his receiving ability. This is a guy coming out of the LSU program. These guys know how to bring out, a receiver talent to the NFL, and Mason Taylor just feels like he could be the next big name at tight end. You see a lot of these mid-round tight ends flourish when put in the right, positions. Mason Taylor in the second round, I still think, it would be absolutely worth it. Son of Jason Taylor, legendary player in the NFL. It just feels like if you're looking for the next big thing at vertical tight end, a big weapon to pair up with Justin Herbert, a guy that can grow with Conklin over the next season or 2 and then pass the torch to him, 2026, 2027, like, my goodness, Mason Taylor is as exciting of a prospect as you're going to see at the tight end position in the mid-round. So I would say absolutely, let's smash the button on this guy, Mason Taylor. Benjamin Morris, getting both of those guys in the second round. Excellent value and excellent, additions to the team that can all contribute right away. Mason Taylor can contribute right now. It's the luxury that we've got Conklin to help ease him into the NFL. Then, of course, round 3 was traded away to the Lions in this one, but we do have a round 4 pick. I'm going to go with J.J. Pegues. Still one of my favorite players in the range of rounds 3 and 5. Pegues is such a fun idea to put on the Chargers, a guy that's a mean player in the middle, right? He does need some development in terms of that interior defensive line play, but you can line him up pretty much anywhere on that defensive line, and he's going to give you something, right? You put him in rotation, and he's going to give you something. But what makes him really special is that he played tight end, fullback, pretty much everywhere you can think of in a big boy offense and defense. You want a guy that scored a whole lot of touchdowns at the fullback position. Line him up at fullback. Make him the apprentice, the heir apparent to Scott Matlock, and that will work. I promise you. JJ Pegues, the ultimate versatile player, defensive lineman, fullback, tight end at times. He's just a very fun player that I know a guy like Jim Harbaugh is saying, hey, man, if we can get this guy on the roster, let's make it happen. And finally, in round 5 of Draft C, I'm going to go with guy Dante Thornton Jr., a guy that we haven't really talked about much yet, a guy that I haven't really gotten around to fully, taking a look at and seeing, who he is as a player. I still have more work to do on him, but man, just scratching the surface, this guy looks like a really good value. I don't even know if he'll be here in the 5th round. Like, obviously he was available in the mock draft, and I see him available even past this pick in a lot of mock drafts. But the upside of this guy just feels too good to let him slide any further than the 5th round. Hugely explosive. He ran a 4.3 flat. Insane contested catch rate at 75%. You guys, that's Mike Williams level contested catch rate. Like, that's absolutely insane. He's a deep route, specialist. He's really, really good in the deep part of the field where Justin Herbert would love to have an available weapon. Very effective. Excellent player to develop. Let's say that he needs a year behind Mike Williams. Whatever, man. He's 6'5", I think, as well. Huge wide receiver, big speed, great in the deep part of the field. Good contested catch. I mean, this could be the next Mike Williams, in 2026 and beyond. So Thornton, he's firmly on my radar all of a sudden, one that I would be very excited to draft in the 5th round. There you guys have it. That's going to be your mock draft C. Let's run it back one more time, actually. Mock draft C started with a trade with the Detroit Lions, a trade down scenario. We got Omarion Hampton, Benjamin Morris, Mason Taylor, JJ Pegues, and Dante Thornton. Let's go ahead and rewind a little bit too here to the first mock draft A. So if you guys in the comment section below want to tell me which one of these is your favorite, we got mock draft A with a trade up for Tet McMillan. We got JT Tuimoloau. We got Gunnar Helm, Noel Williams, and Kyle Monangai in mock draft A. Mock draft B, Kenneth Grant, followed by a trade up for Jaden Higgins, Harold Fannin Jr., and Ollie Gordon. And finally, mock draft C, a trade down scenario, Omarion Hampton, Benjamin Morris, Mason Taylor, JJ Pegues, and Dante Thornton Jr. You guys in the comment section, let me know which one of those is your favorite. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. Few weeks away from the NFL draft. Get ready for it. We only have a couple more mock drafts, before that exciting date, reaches us, and we can all start celebrating who the Chargers selected. But if one thing is for certain, I think we're going to see some awesome value this year. Chargers are very much so positioned to get some good players with or without the trade up or trading down, and it's an exciting year to follow who the Chargers can get at a value, because I certainly think we're positioned for it. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. If you like what you saw here, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up, stay frosty. What do you guys think about Ollie Gordon in the 5th? It's one that I'm really struggling with. I think it could be cool.